Red Notice 2 has been in the works for a few years now, and while there hasn't been a ton of official news, some details have slowly leaked out. Since the first movie dropped, the original Red Notice became one of the most watched films ever on Netflix. It's an action comedy with a star-studded cast featuring Ryan Reynolds, Gal Gadot, and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. The story follows FBI agent John Hartley, who teams up with notorious art thief Nolan Booth to stop an even bigger thief, Sarah Black, from stealing 3 rare bed eggs. The movie hit Netflix on November 5, 2021, and while it got slammed by critics, just a 37% on Rotten Tomatoes, it still racked up over 43.9 million hours watched. It's basically a classic big-budget blockbuster for the streaming age, packed with stars, a $200 million budget, and some fun stunts and plot twists. Since these 3 are no strangers to blockbuster franchises, Red Notice 2 was already on the table before the first movie even came out. Even though not much has been confirmed since 2021, there's been plenty of buzz around the latest update on Red Notice 2. The most recent update came from Gadot in June 2023 at a fan event during Tudum. The Israeli actress confirmed that the sequel is still happening and that the script has already been completed. She shared, "We're all talking about it. I don't know if I can say anything. I already read the second script, and it's woo. We're all very excited about it." This was the most significant news about the sequel in months, so it was a pretty exciting revelation for fans who've been hoping the film is still in the works. Gadot's comments about reading the Red Notice 2 script certainly raised a lot of excitement, especially for fans wondering where the sequel would take the story. Her enthusiasm hints that the script might be something truly special, potentially expanding the dynamics between the characters or introducing new twists that build on the first film's successful formula. If Gadot's reaction is anything to go by, the second movie could be taking the action, humor, and stakes to a whole new level, which could have a huge impact on how the script plays out. The fact that the script is already finished means that the groundwork for the film has been laid, but it also suggests that the team is now refining it to make sure it's even bigger and better. This could also mean that the sequel will have more time to perfect the story, pacing, and character arcs, addressing some of the feedback from the first film's mixed reviews. The script's progress also opens the door for deeper character development, especially with the trio of Reynolds, Gadot, and Johnson, who could each get a chance to explore more layers in their roles. Gadot's excitement could hint at surprising plot twists or deeper connections between the characters, which would definitely make the sequel more engaging. Fans can likely expect the same blend of action, humor, and unexpected twists, but perhaps with an even more polished storyline. This could lead to a more satisfying second movie, one that expands the Red Notice universe while keeping the elements that made the first film so popular. Despite Gadot's enthusiastic comments about Red Notice 2, things are still up in the air, with no official confirmation from the studios or production teams. The road to the sequel has definitely been a bumpy one. Since the original film's premiere, Johnson teased more Red Notice content shortly after the first movie's release. But the wheels didn't start turning seriously until October 2022, when producers Beau Flynn and Hiram Garcia revealed that both Red Notice 2 and Red Notice 3 had scripts in the works. They also hinted at the possibility of filming the 2 sequels back-to-back, depending on how the scripts shape up and how the stars feel about returning. However, there is no clear timeline for when these films might start production, which isn't exactly a good sign for fans hoping for a speedy sequel. Adding to the uncertainty, reports in May 2024 suggested there may have been tension between Reynolds and Johnson on set during the first film, which could complicate the plans for a follow-up. With some of the team still eager to push forward with the franchise and Netflix showing interest, it's clear that there's potential for more Red Notice content. But the major hurdles, including actor dynamics and the script's reception, will have to be navigated before anything can move forward. Gadot is the only one from the original Red Notice cast to mention a sequel recently, so if Red Notice 2 does happen, it's pretty likely she'll return as Sarah Black, the Bishop. If Reynolds and Johnson can get past whatever issues they had, they should come back as Booth and Hartley to complete the trio. Another character who should return, especially after the ending of the first film, is Rue Arya as Inspector Urvashi Das. There aren't any official plot details for Red Notice 2 yet, but the first film ended on a cliffhanger. So, it's possible the sequel could pick up right where it left off. At the end of Red Notice, Booth confronts Hartley and Black, revealing he's frozen their bank accounts after they left him handcuffed in the jungle. He says he'll return their money if they help him with another heist. Meanwhile, DOS issues an international red notice for the three of them, so it seems like Red Notice 2 will follow them working together as a team instead of as rivals. Recent reports have highlighted a feud between Ryan Reynolds and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, which could spell trouble for Red Notice 2 and Netflix's action franchise. Before diving into the specifics, it's worth noting that this isn't the first time The Rock has been involved in behind-the-scenes drama. In May 2024, reports surfaced that he'd been showing up late on the set of his movie Red One, sometimes up to 8 hours late or even not showing up at all. This unprofessional behavior reportedly added $50 million to the film's budget due to delays. Shortly after, another report revealed similar issues on the Red Notice set, where The Rock's tardiness apparently led to a conflict with Reynolds. On one occasion, The Rock showed up 5 hours late, which caused Reynolds to lash out. As a result, the two didn't speak for years, though they have since reconciled. If these reports are accurate, The Rock's lack of professionalism could be a major reason for delays in several of his upcoming franchise projects. The feud between Reynolds and The Rock could explain why Red Notice 2 has been delayed for nearly 3 years. It's tough to film a movie, especially one that relies on the chemistry between its stars, when those stars aren't speaking to each other. Even though The Rock has a packed schedule with many projects, Red Notice was such a massive hit for Netflix that they surely would have found time to make a sequel if everyone was on board. Despite the delays, there's hope that Red Notice 2 could surpass the original film's shortcomings. With the setup already in place, the sequel has the potential to improve upon the first movie. Additionally, reports in 2023 suggested that The Rock might be shifting his focus toward more meaningful films, like in a 24 movie directed by Benny Safdie. This could explain his hesitance to dive into more big-budget projects, as his career priorities might have changed. And that wraps up today's video. If you want to stay updated on all the latest movie news, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give us a thumbs up. By doing so, you'll stay in the loop with all our future updates. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you in the next one. Remember, we're always open to your suggestions for future videos, so feel free to leave them in the comment section below.